Hello, everybody. It's Rob Thomas again with another episode of Good Things Happen on Fridays. I'm a BG5 enthusiast. I'm a BG5 consultant. I also help the Institute with several things. I just love it all. And really quickly, for those of you that are checking us out and seeing this for the first time, I want to clear up something so that you fully understand, okay? So BG5 and human design are in the same family. BG5 is the career and business application of the human design system. You could say that the human design system is more for personal use, and they have their own set of vernacular. Some would call it esoteric, whereas with BG5, we use everyday business language, and it's applied specifically and uniquely for the business and career. And so you can always find us on the web at BG5BusinessInstitute.com. That's where you can find all the information, but then you can also find quite a bit of information about the Institute on this Facebook page. So today, in our episode of Good Things Happen on Fridays, I have the distinct honor and privilege to interview a very, very talented woman from the Netherlands. She is a BG5 consultant. She's a BG5 instructor, and she's getting ready to share with us more about her professional background. But without any further ado or any further verbosity on my part, say hello to Nathalie Keijzer from the Netherlands.
You hear the applause.
So Nathalie, thank you for giving us some of your time today and for giving everybody who's watching the opportunity to get to know you a little bit more. That's really why I like doing these interviews, because this community is getting big and I want to keep us close, and I want it to feel like a close, tightly knit community. So I'd like to begin our conversation by learning a little bit more about your professional background. Can you share more about that with us?
Yeah, so I have a very diverse background and went from different roles in different companies, profit and non-profit, from business events, project manager in business events. I was in the IT. I've programmed about 20 years ago. I've worked for a family philanthropy organization, a worldwide organization, but I worked for the Netherlands, and all different kind of things. HR I've done also. It's
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, so for about 17, 18 years, and then I actually decided to leave the company where I was at. It was a mutual agreement, and they offered me a career trajectory or assessment, but really a coaching kind of thing, where you have group sessions and a personal coach and all kinds of things that you could subscribe to. Did you ask me the question already how I found BG5? Because I'm actually going there.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens just as a natural consequence, right? Because it's part of your trajectory. So feel free to include that.
Yeah. So, well, actually in this setting, you had like free little workshops, like how to present yourself, your LinkedIn page, whatever, right? And there was at one time a human design workshop. So it was a little flyer, but I was like, oh, cool. I always want to know myself. So I went there and I was blown away. And I'm a 5'1", so a really investigating everything. So I dived deep, went all over the internet, bought my human design definitive book, the Bible, right? And then I did, at the time I was unemployed, but I did the Live in Your Design course. Actually, I got it for my 40th birthday from all my friends.
Cool.
It was really cool, yeah. And then didn't really, I wanted, but I didn't have money and And then the BG5 Institute, was founded or went into the world, and there was a free webinar, and I attended that, and I was like, wow, this is it. And especially specifically about what you said for the language, it was so clear, clean, you know, easy to share about it in that language, that I was like, yeah, you know, I need to go here. So I had a full analysis with Karen, and we were just, you know, instantly buddies. And I started, you know, did fast track the rest of the foundation and started with her first certification course in the BG5 Institute. So, and you know, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So I've been actually literally with the institute since it began. Yeah, in
Yeah.
2015, 2016.
And you know, so that's why I'm so excited to do stuff like this, is because I get to speak with people who were there right at the beginning, right? The genesis of the Institute, not the genesis of human design, of course,
No. Yeah.
but the Institute, right? So, you know, and we're lucky to be able to have this, you know, and be able to see from your experience what it looked like back then and what it looks like now. And of course, having been on that ride, you can have a better vision for the future as to where we're headed and what's possible. So, you know, Nathalie, you teach a lot of courses. You know, you're very, very active within the Institute. You're a very pivotal part of it. And you've taught foundation, which is the very beginning. It's where everyone starts, unless, you know, side note, unless there's other training in human design that's of the equivalent. And you also teach the certification course.
Yeah.
And now you have also, as an assistant, taught OC16, which is the advanced study.
Yeah.
And then, do you also teach profit potential?
No, I don't teach it, but
Okay.
yeah.
But you understand it very well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We've been all there, and then the cycles. So then we've ticked them all.
Yeah. So, you know, you've taught students all over the world.
Yeah.
Or from all over the world, right? Because we're a virtual environment, which is fantastic. Yeah. And so I'd be curious to hear more about, from your perspective, having taught students all over the world, having been with the Institute from the beginning, at the inception and the genesis of this, both from, you know, you received this as a client first, you got your analysis with Karen, and then you stepped into learning it, and now you're part of the Institute. I'd love to hear more about your perspective, because we're starting to attract a lot of people that are consultants, right? They have other modalities or other methodologies that they're currently using, and they want to add this to their practice. We're also, you know, starting to move into like the therapy community and the counseling community, and then the coaching community, of course. And so a lot of these people are taking a look at what we have to offer that might help augment or strengthen or improve someone's practice. So I'd like to hear more about your perspective about what's available through the certification for those people that are, you know, currently investigating or taking a look.
Yeah. So what is really brilliant? Well, the system is brilliant, right? So it is so accurate and about an individual, right? And knowing your design and how to operate correctly and how to make decisions with confidence, from, you know, what you actually feel and are aware of, not from your mind, because we have a lot of monkeys up there. And then what I really like about BG5 and BG5 certification is that you also, because in business and in life, actually, we interact. So you also learn about, you know, partnership and how you interact with one other individual, but then also about teams. And that's just, I would say, magic, because there is no other tool out there that can literally look below the surface as to why the atmosphere is not, you know, is a little bit, something is up, or there is miscommunication, and two people, you know, on paper should be able to work together, but then there's friction, and or, you know, the company is trying so hard and the business owner is trying so hard, but they you know, investing a lot in marketing, but it doesn't go anywhere. So with regular courses and with regular support that coaches can give, they can only do, kind of also have this one solution and implement this, and then you will get going. Whereas it's not, what's inside of the team, and this team makeup, these literal persons bring some energy dynamic. And that's actually what we can look at. We have a sort of X-ray, which is the penta chart, that you can study and then understand what is happening actually, and why things are happening. And the most beautiful thing about that is that it is not always personal, that it can also be the mechanics. You can be a great leader, but if in the team, something's not working, it's not your fault. And then maybe adding somebody, or then it could flow again. So it's what it really does is give a comfort to individuals, but also to business owners and leaders and anybody who you coach, that in any setting in interaction. So it's just magic. I cannot,
Yeah, and not like trick magic either, like real life.
Yeah. And you can see it, right? If we talk about energy and how you operate, but there's something concrete here. It's practical as well. And I can share something about what the makeup is and about the individual and about the team, but another consultant will say exactly the same, right? Because it's the energy of this team or individual.
Yeah. So I really like how you articulated that. You said so many key things that I picked up on, and one of the things that I heard you talk about was that you use the word X-ray, right? And X-rays, we all know, allow you to see things that the eye can't normally see. There's tons of businesses out there that are struggling, right? They're trying their hardest to make it go right. They are taking things personally. And the reason that they take things personally is because their survival is at stake, right? If this business doesn't do well, for example, if I'm the business owner, me and my employees, we're not gonna eat, right? So I do think that that's oftentimes why people do take it personally. And how refreshing is it when, as a BG5 consultant, you can take the tools that you're certified to use into a business, and for the first time show that business owner themselves mechanically. And from it's from them. It's not what they think of them or you think of them or I think of them. It's them concretely, despite any other circumstances. And you don't see that with the other modalities that are out there, right? Most of the other modalities, you're asked to answer anywhere from 90 to 100 forced outcome questions.
Yeah, and then you get a label.
Yeah, and then depending on how you feel that day, you might get a different result. And Chris mentioned something in our interview where she said, it's people when they take these analysis and these assessments, they're really answering the questions with the vision of how they want to be, but not how they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But another thing that I noticed that you said was that we're not just talking about individuals here. We're talking about groups, right? And partnerships and how individuals work together mechanically. You're able, as an architect, to go in there and show them all of this and why things happen. And then, like you said, no one has to take it personally anymore. And, I think I'm a lot like you in that's the one thing that I really love and dig and admire about what we have, this gift that we have with the BG5 methodology, is that it doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah, we use in the classes this example of the Google research that they studied 150 teams It's yeah, I don't know where, New York Times or something it was from. They started 150 teams to see what makes a team successful, right? And they had these different kind of what you regularly see, like the curriculum of the people and their abilities and whatever. But that didn't pinpoint why this team that had kind of the same makeup and even some of the same people in it operated better than another team. And what they found were these intangible things like the atmosphere and the collaboration, the trust, etc. And how do you create that? Well, that's in energy, and that also depends on what the the makeup of the team is. So you can see it. You can yeah. So well, it's just fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. And you said that was with Google?
Yeah, it is a study of Google, of
Okay.
Google Teams, and they did it worldwide, right? So on 150 team, I believe it was in the New York Times about 1 or 2 years ago that it was published.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, sounds like Google needs a BG5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that they can find out, outside of the
Yeah,
wallpaper on the wall, why teams really work, right? So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's fascinating. So Nathalie, as you look into the future for those consultants that are looking maybe to add this as another certification to their tool belt,
Mm-hmm.
or the therapist, or the coach,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at where we're at and you look at where the Institute was when you first started, can you shed some light as to what's possible and what's out there and what the future looks like for those that are currently looking at this opportunity?
Yeah. So, humans are always searching, and in business, we're also always searching to make the best use of our employees and have their talents, come out, drawn out. Um, and what did I want to say? So, what I see is that it is really growing, but it is so grassroots level. So you really bring something refreshing, new, and accurate, like for each individual, for each team. It's each time you have a client, it's different. You cannot just, you have your tool set, but you don't know what it's going to bring. And I think people are how do you say that, if you really want something, I don't know the word, so they are just dying to really know themselves, to really know their business, right, and not have another trick run over it, right, that
Yeah.
someone apply to multiple different people. So and the world also, and that's what we really find in the Institute, and it's grown tremendously in those, what is it, 4 years only. People are open to more of, you called it esoteric, but in essence, we know that we use the birth information, and so it is also, how do you say it, it's so objective, so and then for me it gives like, this is really me, and it's only me, right? It's not you and the other one, etc. So with all the other assessments that you call, you get a label, 1 out of 8, 1 out of 16 maybe, but that's it, and that's what we mark billions of people with. So you can truly tune into who you authentically are, and as a business owner, or if you help leaders, that they can make use of the innate abilities of their employees, instead of going through another training and la la la. And then when somebody can truly do what they love to do, they shine, and they run, but it's not even an effort, it's joy. And so what a beautiful, joyous world we could create. That's just, and that's why I get so much pleasure out of teaching. I really love teaching, by the way. It's my profit potential. From
Oh, it
me,
is.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. I just love to give this to the world, right? That so many people as possible can just, you know, be themselves and relax into that. And then with joy, it's effortless to do whatever you do, right? So many
Yeah.
people are struggling to or dragging themselves to work, and I've been there. I actually fell down quite a bit. You know, I've been burned out several times in my career because of my focused energy that was scattered. And I only have two functions defined and one strength, so it's really, you know, key
Yeah.
to use that correctly. And now that I can, you know, it's just effortless and joyous. Yeah, can't
Yeah.
say it differently. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that with us for sure. You know, the joy that you mentioned several times, it really is possible. You know, I shared this statistic with you, and I'm just for the benefit of those that are watching. Nathalie was talking about people who aren't finding joy in what they do. She herself was collapsing at work. You know, I don't know if you or you yourself, or maybe you know other people who, when they talk about work, the emotional tone drops. It's like, yeah, I gotta go to work. And like
Yeah,
Nathalie
exactly.
said, literally dragging the body to work, right? You can see the scratch marks on the pavement every day, right? But so there's an organization called Gallup. They're worldwide. They're known for data. So they've been accumulating data for decades. And every single year they put out an engagement poll and an engagement survey, you know, to count, I mean, literally thousands and thousands of people. And last year, so 2019's report on their engagement survey was this. And this is staggering. And this applies directly to what Nathalie was just talking about. They found that only 15% of the world is engaged at work. By their definition, that means that they're committed, focused, and enjoy what they do. And by their definition, so if we look at the other 85% of the world, which is an overwhelming majority, by their definition, they either hate what they do, they hate their job, they hate their boss, or they hate the company. And for some, it's a combination of all of them. And so we're in a world where we're on a planet where you have to exchange. We all have to exchange with each other in order to survive, right? Nothing moves without help. So, and we're going to all spend, unless we're uber wealthy. So I'm not wealthy. Nathalie, are you wealthy?
No, no. I live in a regular rental house in Amsterdam.
Right. Yeah. And so, you know, most of the people that are watching this, we're all going to spend 7/10 or 70% of our lives awake, working, right? Engaging. Yeah. And, you know, you see these quotes all the time about you never work a day in your life if you do something you love. And I think that a lot of people are so pushed down and so upset, and like they've almost given up. They're apathetic. It seems utopic. It seems like, man, you know, only very few actually find what they do. But here we have this tool.
Yeah, I'd like to say something here because a lot of what we think is, well, when I have this, or when I do that, or when I acquire that certificate, then, you know, I will find it. So we're always trying to get something that we are not, or that we don't have naturally, right? And that's kind of the focus of the world and the push. Whereas you live now, and if you can grow even the talents that you already have, then you feel this success and satisfaction, right? And the yeah, so and there comes a peace with it. And this is literally, I've been burned out, you know, quite a bit over a decade, from 30 to 40. and my one and only question was, why does this happen to me? Not so much I could see, you know, how it happened in my work, but why? And that answer I found, and then it gave so much peace and so much to be able to be me, right? I think we don't try to be who you truly are. We try to be something that we are, you know, striving for. Whereas if you are you, you can, you know, be, you know, happy and successful and yeah. So and this is, I think, you know, in the recent lockdowns and whatever has happened all over the world, we were put on a pause, and I think so many people are like, okay, so what am I truly, you know, doing? You know, why am I doing what I'm doing? Do I like what I'm doing? Right?
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's been yeah, not nice for always, right? But it is also has been a gift for, you know, the world to take a break in this rat race and come back to yourself. And yeah, so I always was quite intuitive in the choices I did, but knowing that I am here to follow my gut response is just such a difference. You can trust it, you can build on it, you can, you know, which is, you know, when you know your decision making strategy and truly can then and things will pop up, right? It's just amazing. I've had amazing things happen actually when entering into BG5, and then I also studied NLP, so I'm an NLP coach, and I wanted to start my own business, but I already was, you know, the government money was kind of done. I thought I couldn't do it or how, and then I went to this office where, you know, you talk with the government officials. And since I had a little job in between, you know, it rebounced, and I could start my own business with, you know, help from the government, which I totally didn't, you know, count on. And then boom, you know, it just flow. If it's truly, life will bring you, you know, it's the universe. It's energy. We're all connected, and yeah. So don't know. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. And I really like how you put that, you know, we are all connected and that life can also bring things to you, right? We talk about this quite a bit in the classes and in consultations, etc. So Nathalie, looking forward, there's a big transition that's happening right now. That's obvious. Everybody can feel this. It's not just COVID though. There's something more. And, you know, without going like too far into it, can you share with everybody that's watching right now, briefly just inform them on what's coming and why understanding the information that we offer within BG5 now is so important?
Yeah, so we've been in a world where like the past, whatever, 400 years, where we literally build institutes, build grown companies, etc. So and that the government takes care of you and trusting experts, etc. And that's crumbling down, and the world is also asking to rely more on yourself, and you see it even in the way that HR is working now. They used to look at you know, what studies you have done, but now they also look at you, at your talent, right? So it's more about the individual, what will be important about being authentic, right? People, it's not so much so, and from that we will yeah, connect truly. So what I see with, you know, this happening and this shift, working in large corporations and or even working for a corporation will kind of you know, dissolve, and we will connect more like individuals, more of a network type of world, right? And then knowing your design and how you connect with others and how to remove resistance and how to ease communication in, you know, a honest and integer and, you know, being true. You know, I think also, and I actually hate those people, but that just lie away and get a lot of stuff, right? And then or power, so to say. We see through it. People don't follow that anymore, right? So that's not the way to build business in the future. And yeah, what you have here is to stand up in your own power, and from that, you know, moving forward. Is that what you were kind of looking for?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think it's a big transition. Well, I don't think it's a big transition. I think it's a very important transition to understand, especially in context with what we're offering in the Institute and then through the consultants out in the world across the globe. So, and that's coming in 2027 to a theater near you. I'm kidding. But it is, the transition takes place.
It is actually happening, 2027.
Yeah.
In my imagination, but we don't know how it actually unfolds, right? We can see some, but it's, I think that 2027, then we will, you know, ease into the energy will, you know, and I think we're now struggling in the transition.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's wanting that relax, that exhale. They want that now. You know, the environment across the world right now is like a rubber band stretched all the way, and you can smell it. Like no more room.
And the exhale, you know, when you learn BG5 and learn about yourself, that's what we get. That's what I hear in my students. You know, it's such a relief to relax into yourself, and that's what that's the biggest gift that I can give my students, my coachees, etc. And that's really what they take away.
Yeah.
And also letting go of stuff that they, you know, made themselves wrong for all the time. It's it's really amazing to watch. And that's what I love about teaching. Because you are with your students weekly and over a period of time, you see them grow, right? You see them, you know, kind of, as we say, you can learn for the rest of your life about human design, and you see it click and you know, center into them, which is, you know, fascinating and beautiful. So
it's indeed beautiful. And you know, I want to thank you for everything that you've done to help me. You're helping so many people with what you're doing, and I'm, you know, it's clear that you're receiving satisfaction in what you do, and that you really understand how you are made, how you are designed to profit. And when we use the word profit, we're not talking about that greedy, nasty profit. We're talking about doing well materially, because it's all set up. It's all designed for us all to do this. And, you know, Nathalie, the joy in your path has been communicated in this conversation today. And it's very clear that all of us that are watching can see your passion for what you do. I want to end off by giving you an opportunity to share with those that are watching how to engage with you. How do you want them to connect with you?
Well, I think email is my best way to connect with me. And then if you'd like a conversation or are thinking about studying BG5 and you know, want to know a little bit more about whatever, or the courses, or if it's a fit for you, I do Zoom calls and I can have a quick chat. I'm always open to that. So my email is Nathalie at BG5 Business Institute.com, so they can find me there. I think that's the easiest way for people to engage.
Awesome. Cool. Nathalie, thank you. So for everybody watching, what a great conversation, right? And if you sign up for courses, more than likely Nathalie will be on your path at some point for sure, as an instructor or otherwise. So, and of course, if y'all have any questions or you need extra guidance in contacting Nathalie, you can always find me. I'm responsible for a lot of the social media, and so you can contact me through the message boards there. But we'll always make sure that you get the direction that you need. So, Nathalie, I want to thank you again for giving us your time and sharing your joy, your passion, and your satisfaction with us. And have a great vacation.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.